This one marketing funnel took us to $800,000 per month, and I'm just going to give it to you. My name is James Lewis. I'm the CEO of Whiteboarder Investments and BizLeads. And back in 2022, when I joined the BGA group, we went from about $400,000 to $500,000 to $800,000 in about 6 to 9 months on just that company. And that's monthly as well. So in this video, I'm going to run you through exactly what we did in order to add $300,000 to $400,000 per month in revenue and the marketing funnel that actually helped us do that. So let's dive in. Step one is the funnel analysis and strategic starting point. Now, most businesses basically build everything backwards. They work on creatives, ads, front end, and everything like that, and they don't actually know the numbers that they're trying to hit for that given month. Okay. Now, what we realized in this company when we joined was the conversion process was actually already pretty good. We just needed to focus on ensuring that we were actually getting the volume of leads that we needed and to hold that quality while we were scaling, because everything was good. We just needed to go with leads. The people could take a bit more, and we implemented a few more systems, but I'll cover that in a second. So instead of rebuilding the actual close or anything like that, we just make sure we increased the actual funnel. So revenue target, we didn't have this at the time of how we actually thought we were going to get here, but the revenue target, $800,000 per month, and we were doing an average deal size of about 5,000, okay? Now, that equates to about 160 closed deals. Now, it was more so like 120 to 130 closed deals. And then we were making up the rest of that money in VBI, okay, in volume-based incentives. So there was like over 6 figures a month in volume-based incentives from all the volume that we were putting down in terms of the NAF for this cash flow company, okay? We had approximately a 38% application rate and about a 40% application to settlement rate, which sits us around 15%. Now, based on the formula that I have, which is 30% of your marketing can never go to more than your acquiring of the customer. Basically, max CAC equated to be like, to maintain like good levels of profitability, we didn't want to maintain and basically exceed $100 lead cost, okay? And basically these numbers were defined by our media buying, form design, backend systems, etc. It was just the economics of it. Like there was nothing crazy to it. We knew what we needed to hit, and that's what we did. So we started off revenue target, that's what we wanted to hit. And we just know that we needed to hit approximately 120 to 130 deals on these conversion rates that we currently had. So you can see revenue, etc., not great in terms of that, but like about 1,000 leads in terms of what we're actually doing. It needed about 1,068 leads, so we knew that we needed to ramp there slowly. So we started off increasing leads by about 50 to 100 per month, okay? Made sure we were very, very knowing in terms of the numbers. So every month we'd look at how many leads we're currently getting. 500, it was approximately 400 to 500 leads. So it was literally about half that, okay? So 400 to 500 leads, we knew we needed to get to 1,000, and we needed the systems in place to actually do it. So we knew we can't just double the actual volume 1 month. We knew that we needed to, at this deal size, with these conversion rates, we needed to slowly increase it. So we increased it 50 to 100 leads per month. Now, step 2 is actually getting the leads. So you need to know the economics behind it, and then you get the leads, okay? So know where you need to go, know exactly what your average deal is and all of that before you even go into this. Now, step 2 is the ads platform strategy, etc. Now, obviously most businesses mismatch the actual messaging, targeting, etc. But the solution was we ran Google to capture high intent leads and then Facebook ads for scale and retargeting. And then basically we had a direct response offer and we had fairly low friction forms. We're not trying to exclude too many people. And the low friction form meaning minimum criteria at the time of like 5K monthly income, 6-month trading, sometimes less if you could sub them with like a biz cap or something like that. And basically that was the goal. It was fairly like low friction but good forms. It was all direct response. So at the start we were able to target the buyer ready market under Google search and then Facebook and Instagram. And what I mean by buyer ready is you give them a direct offer. See if you qualify for up to $500,000 in under 12 hours and get a business loan fast, completely unsecured, etc. Like that's someone who knows they have a problem, knows that the product exists, and they're ready to buy now. So you just hit them with the right offer and then they convert into a lead and you convert them into a client. Very good for Google. So Google here, High intent buyers, keywords like business loans fast, unsecured, etc. Yes, the CPCs were high, but the conversion rate, we were getting leads for approximately like $40 to $60 per lead for Google ads. And then Facebook and Instagram, retargeting in broad scale. We retargeted all website and form visitors, and obviously we had premium creative plus direct response cold ads, meaning cold going to cold audiences, people who don't know who we are. So need 20K to 250K in 24 hours, see if your business qualifies. So that's an example of like a really good performing hook and offer to actually get people in. Now, next, basically, as we said, forms, friction-free, and lead qualification. So we had traffic being run into Google. And then we also had clicks that were coming through, and then we had Facebook. And Facebook was retargeting then everyone who clicked on a form or was on the website. And then basically we moved through these people and then scaled Facebook. So we had retargeting, targeting Google, and then we scaled Facebook as well. And then that basically was able to bring us from the 400 to 500 leads per month to 1,000. Okay, and that was the strategy. So we had short form, mobile first. So you need to optimize mobile first at all times. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Mobile first, 95% of traffic's mobile. And basically captured obviously revenue, contact information, time in business, etc. Do you have a previous business loan? Things like that. And we didn't qualify too much. It was fairly low friction. Wasn't too many questions either, about 10 questions. So it was nothing crazy. And then obviously lead ads on Facebook, we mixed lead ads with landing pages, and both for retargeting and the actual cold ads. And then we had direct landing pages on Google as well. Now, this got us literally thousands of leads over this period of time, and we could basically keep the 3 to 5 brokers that we had at the time. And we had more with like SDRs as well, so we had more people. And this was just one of the companies. There was approximately maybe a few more, 3 to 5. There was like 5 to 7 with SDRs, people who are qualifying the leads and actually passing them through. Okay. So that was a huge, it seems like huge revenue for a small operation, but it was true. Like it was fairly large revenue for like a literal 7-8 person team, plus a team leader, etc. And literally we got thousands of qualified leads under what we needed of our $90 to $100 cost per lead. Okay. Now it seemed like based on that, we had a 6% Google, 10% Instagram, 30% Facebook. That was our split of the lead cost as well. And we were really generating leads, but as the leads were coming through, we had to adapt. Okay, so we really had to adapt in terms of our strategy and what we're actually doing to make sure we could increase and keep conversion. Because when we were at 800, we did have the 6-7 people with the SDRs, and SDR stands for Sales Development Representative. It's essentially an appointment setter. And basically, like the full funnel, like we needed to optimize the full funnel now. So like most people just stop at the leads. So they just go, perfect, the funnel is complete, but it's not complete, okay? So we built a full back end that made sure we were having really good metrics around tracking, contacted people, making sure they were contacted instantly, following up relentlessly. So how do we actually make sure that that is a system and process? And then tracked performance of every stage all the way to the back. So from a click all the way to close, that's all tracked. So we have a full back end. So after the form, we didn't wait. We had a machine that literally made first contact within 5 minutes and followed it up to 30 times in 5 days. Now, 30 times in 5 days sounds like a lot. That is a mix of every touch point, okay? Email, SMS, voicemail, call, 4 different touch points, okay? Now, up to 30 times in 5 days. Now, that could include as well people taking applications and stuff like that as well. So like imagine they've been contacted 4 times, and 4 times I mean like SMS, email, voicemail, call 4 times, every second dial. So basically you'd have a dial, nothing, second dial, you have 4 contacts, dial, 4 contacts, dial 4 contacts, because you don't want to keep doing 4 different touch points every single one. But if you do this for 5 days, you get up to some pretty big numbers. But that was the best way that we found we needed to get every lead. It was we need to contact them in under 10 minutes, and we had timers, back-end tracking, everything around all of this. And basically that's how we did it. And we found as well that conversion rates slightly dropped. So what we did basically was this: we made sure we had all of this stuff. So we had a thank you page. Now, the lead comes in through Facebook, Google, they inquire, they then go to a thank you page. On the thank you page video, basically you would have a video there and it would be like, thank you, we received your information. And then the video sets expectations, builds trust, and it also dramatically improves show rates and also basically contact rates. Show rates means to an appointment and also to application. So show rates to that. And then also the contact rate skyrocketed, which was good. We got that back up because we dropped closer to 10% and we had to reel it back to a 15% conversion. So basically on the thank you page, you have a confirmation video that goes over common objections, builds trust with the audience to make sure that they are actually the ones who like feel trusted for the business. Like, so they know that this business is a good company and they know that their needs are going to be taken care of. And then SDRs. So right around the middle of the increase, as I said, at the end we had SDRs, but we needed to bring in SDRs to make sure we had them basically calling within 5 minutes. Then no one answers, obviously voicemail, SMS, call back to temp later that day, all the things I just chatted about before, and then a 5-day, 20 to 30 touch point follow-up system. So 2 to 3 calls per day, voicemails, SMS and emails on the second of every dial, and then full CRM tracking. So every interaction tracked by the rep, by lead source, etc. Contact rate, show rate, approval rate, settlement, exactly. And dashboard visible to leadership every 48 hours, meaning it was being reviewed every 48 hours by leadership so that we could consistently improve. Because imagine this, your contact rate's 60%, okay? 60%. And you're a business that does $600,000 per month. And you increase your contact rate by 60% to 80%, your business revenue basically goes from 600,000 to 800,000 because you've literally increased from 60 to 80% is a 33% increase on actual contact rate, which means your revenue proportionately will increase by 33%. So we were relentlessly tracking these numbers to make sure we were in the best position possible in order to actually get this going and make sure we were doing it. So that's why Funnel didn't just collect leads, it actually converted them. And we treated, again, every single lead like the money was already spent, okay? And followed it through until we monetized it or marked it as dead. So you need to either be able to, without pushing them too hard, mark it as dead or make it an opportunity and then have a perfect process to bring them into an opportunity. There's other videos on my channel that basically go over this, but take a look at them, but we have better content that's going to be coming out as well that I'm really diving deep into with everything. To recap, it wasn't just a funnel, it's a full machine. So you've got to think of a marketing funnel as a full machine, okay? So diagnose your business, run the actual numbers first, okay? Make sure you know exactly what your lead to contact rate is. Contact rate to opportunity, opportunity to application, application to then approval, approval to settlement, settlement to referral. Okay, very important. Make sure you know what those are. Make sure you know what your average deal amount is. Make sure you know what your maximum cost per lead that you're willing to pay is. Know what your minimum conversion rate is for your break even. Okay, and then build a traffic model around that. Okay, so depending on the actual vertical, like business loans, for example, it's good for Google. Google's really good for it because it's instant, it's fast. People are just like, they search Google business loans, I need this now. They click on it and they go straight through. And then you retarget them. That works all the time really well. If you're not retargeting people in some regard, whether that be through SMS, email, or some kind of ad platform as well, you're missing out on a lot of money, okay? And then follow up like your margin depends on it because it literally does. Every business has a set fixed cost every single month, and every dollar you generate on top of that fixed cost is direct profit, okay? So if your business is running at, let's say in this case, at $800,000 a month, if your fixed costs is $600,000 per month, that's how much you're spending, $600,000 per month. If that's the case, then if you're doing 800,000, you're making 200,000 profit. However, if you only dropped, say, contact rate and application rate down by a few percent, you're probably now doing 700,000, which means instead of profiting 200,000 a month, you're now profiting 100,000 a month. You halved your profit by some small amount of leads just getting through the cracks, okay? So that is exactly how we scaled to over $800,000 per month in recurring finance revenue, and how we built a sellable asset that I obviously exited from. So hopefully that was valuable. That was the funnel. That's the step-by-step that we went into. I know it's not the super particulars, it's the broad view. I hope that was valuable though for you guys so you can plan out exactly how you may do this for your business, whether that be leads or booked appointments or whatever that may be. So until next time, subscribe. If you have anything to say in the comments, say it. but hope to speak with you guys soon.